Have you done a podcast before?
No.
All right. So episode one of Mofos with a Long Podcast. Working
Yeah.
title right now. So first things, I guess introduce ourselves and talk about history of film and what made you want to do all this and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we
So
can do that.
you want to go first or?
No, no, you
Yeah,
go
I'll go
first.
first. Okay. So my name is Amori Amofawan, 27. And that's where the mofo part comes from, because of the initials. It's like an inside joke at work and stuff. And so my history with film is that when I was in Nigeria, I watched films kind of just to see like exposure to the Western world and stuff like that. And the movies that got me like into film are just straight up martial arts films.
Okay.
Yeah, because I couldn't understand a lot of English at the time.
Uh-huh.
So you don't need English to understand kicking and punches, you know.
Right. Yeah, I got you.
So just watch a lot of Jackie Chan movies, a lot of Jet Li movies. Then every once in a while we'll see something kind of different, like Terminator 2.
Okay.
Was like that was a big thing. Even though I think when we saw it was like maybe in 97, 98, and it came out what 91 or something. But for us, that was like the Super Bowl, Yeah, like every kid, every adult just huddled around and just watched it like it was a documentary.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So ever since then, I've kind of been attached to film. Then when I came to America, my dad was too cheap to pay for ESL classes, English as second language. So he made my brother watch nothing but it's just Cartoon Network. What's it called? PBS. And we just watch movies on the low. It's just like you guys go. Watch as much as you can, learn English from it, and it worked. It definitely worked. Then yeah, ever since then, just keep watching more and more movies. It kind of expanded more to like now. When I watch a film, I like to read trivia or more in details about it because I find that just as interesting as the film itself.
Mm.
Then yeah, I went to college and a friend of mine had a film class, a film studies class.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the class, but it's weird. Instead of like ditching out of class, I used to like sneak into the class to just watch movies and learn more about them. And my last roommate, his name is Michael Pittner. He's a film study, and we talk about films all the time. And talking about film with him kind of gave me ideas, like what? Because we would talk for like hours, like 2-3 hours about movies. Then we're like, I need to actually find somebody to talk to about this because he's in Chicago and I'm here in Texas. And talking to another coworker, Destiny, at
Mm-hmm.
work, she also kind of talked about this idea. I was like, that sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna steal it. No, it's just I was just like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Then a couple months later, I met you, and you know a lot about film, and I'm kind of glad because you have no emotions tied.
Mm.
When you talk about film, you don't try to like make somebody feel dumb for something or they're wrong. You just have your opinion, and I find that very cool. And yeah, we discussed a lot about film. I was like, let's. And you said you had the equipment, so I was like, okay, let's start this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for that long story.
No, no, no. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Because I mean, once you kind of made me look back.
No, okay,
I don't
my
really
bad.
got that much to say. But no,
I
my
talk a
thing
lot.
is, man, I guess like I don't know. I always been like obsessed with different types of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that be like through music or video games, books,
Yeah.
movies, just all types of like anything that tells a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
Even someone just sitting down and talking about something that they went through or whatever. Like
Yeah.
always been interested in that because I mean I'm always down for a good story, whether it be real or
Yeah.
fictitious.
Mm-hmm. You never got into reading though. You just couldn't.
Oh no, reading, yeah,
Yeah, books. Okay.
yeah. No, no, no.
Mhm.
I used to be a huge bookworm.
Mhm.
Like, I'd be through school. You wouldn't catch me without a book in my hand.
Oh, okay.
But like, Mostly Stephen King though.
Oh yeah, same.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, he's reading that Stephen King. He's reading that weird shit."
Yeah, what's your favorite Stephen King book?
What's my favorite Stephen King book? That's hard. They're all pretty good. One that stuck by with me, and like I think I would like to see it redone because they did a film adaptation, but it wasn't that great. It's Cell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's pretty recent, right?
Yeah. The film adaptation has like John Cusack.
Yeah.
And it's like, do I really want to watch like an hour and a half of John Cusack?
Was Samuel Jackson in it too, or I remember John Cusack, but
I don't know. Honestly, like I ended up falling asleep.
Oh man,
because it was like that bad. And then I woke up, and then because like they tried to give it a more definitive ending because the book kind of like ends on a cliffhanger, kind of lets you decide like how it ends, like in your own imagination. And the movie they tried to make like a more definitive ending, and I was just like, man, this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Bro. And then John Cusack,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how people feel about him, but like I just like nothing against him like as a person, but like when I go see a movie, like I just don't want to watch.
Yeah, John Cusack.
I don't know. Like, did you see 2012?
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay, yeah. I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, it's not the most. It's a disaster movie, and it's just you just take it as it is.
Yeah, I mean, but like he's supposed to be the hero of the disaster movie.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, I don't see John Cusack as like the hero of this disaster movie.
It could be anybody else,
like,
just not John Cusack.
Like when you think of like who's gonna
save the day,
yeah, you're thinking like The Rock, you're thinking like Vin Diesel, you're thinking like maybe
like Chris Hemsworth, or
somebody like that, but it was like John Cusack. I was just like, bro,
hey, man, and let people know if John Cusack can do it, I can do it too.
No, I mean, like, it's not that he doesn't have skill, because he does. He does. He's a good actor. And like nothing against him as like a person or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know. I just don't like in those particular roles. I don't see it. Like, if he's off doing like some other type of like, maybe he's in some like like serious drama or what have you. That works out for him. But like for
action movies,
I just don't see it.
I feel like I interrupted your introduction. I'll talk.
No, it's all good, man.
Yeah, you can keep going.
But yeah. So like that's just basically I've always like kind of gravitated towards that, and like not in the sense of just like consuming it, but then I went on. I've had a couple projects.
Oh yeah, you showed
yeah, it's just like short film projects, and I've done music for years now. Yeah. And then working on a video game right now.
Would you link your short film about the Metro Boomin in this video?
Not in this video.
No, okay.
But I'll put it up somewhere so people can.
I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. So
it was dumb.
Yeah,
it was really dumb. No, and the way we did that is like literally just over the course of like a couple months. Every time like I'd be hanging out with the homies or whatever, I would think of like a shot that we could do, and I'd be like, all right, here, just stand here, say this. I'm gonna be with like, and we filmed it all on a phone.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
it's all good.
It was just over the course of just like a couple of like doing a shot here and there every time like we're hanging out. Like eventually over that couple of months we had the whole thing ready to go. So it was cool. It was a fun experience.
Okay.
But yeah. So and then I'm always looking for an opportunity to either like talk about the stories and that we're consuming, whether it be like video games. Or whatever. So I met you at work, and then I've got all this equipment. So it's like, why not put it to good use? You know what I mean? So and then we're here.
Yeah. We're like, this is just spitballing. Like, what do you see this going? Just friends talking about movies.
Oh, basically. This? I mean, like, we can expand.
Yeah.
Like if we play video games or we read a good. I don't know if you read.
I read, but not as much as I used to. Like, I don't read. Like, because of just what's happening now. So, if I ever get free time, I'll try to get back into it.
All right. Cool.
Then then same. Hopefully then more people, because somebody I have in my mind is like Destiny. She should watch movies too.
Oh yeah.
Let's bring her up, especially for that Tenet discussion we need to have.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to talk about Tenet.
Yeah, so need to talk about that.
Should we lead into? We talked about a couple of movies. Should we like?
Oh yeah, lead into it. So first we tried, with what's it called? Blood Simple.
Blood Simple.
Yeah, but we kind of just discussed that at work. But now I'm trying to make it, to the next episode. So we tried again, and this time with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep, the original.
The original, 1974?
Yeah.
So
was that 74?
Yeah, okay. I think so. I just saw, it was 1974.
Okay, yeah.
And so do you want to kind of lead into your overall feelings about it, or do you want to say that first, then go in more detail?
I think I'm gonna rate it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give my talking points.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and give it a rating.
Okay.
So, unless you want to start.
Oh no, you can start.
Okay. First thing I have to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Is freaking what's his name? Franklin.
Is Franklin the driver? No, Franklin's the guy in the wheelchair.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. It has nothing to do with him being in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But that guy is one of the most annoying characters in film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Bro. He is every 5 minutes he's like, Sally!
Yeah.
Sally! Bro, just shut up.
Yeah,
man.
remember
he's so annoying. And he pulls out the knife all the time for no freaking reason. And he's randomly cutting up some dude's van, bro. Just why are you cutting up people's van?
Remember when he yelled at the girl? Wasn't it the girl that escaped? Oh, spoilers, by the way. This is gonna be spoiler discussion. Yeah. The girl that escaped at the end. What's her name?
Sally, his sister.
Okay. Oh, that was his sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so when he was arguing about her with the knife, and he's just yelling at, "No, I gave you the knife!" Dude, it's not that real, man.
It's really not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to start off, I think he's most annoying character I've ever seen. I don't know what you thought about him. But
he didn't bother me too much. I mean, the one he was arguing with his sister, that I was like, okay, man, it's not. It's. I mean, I don't understand the situation sucks, and she's trying to grab the.
Did the video just go out? Damn, son.
Oh, are you serious?
I guess we're just audio now.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, just keep going.
I gotta get a better camera.
It's all good. We'll figure all this out later. Then, I guess now I could just move this.
Yeah. I mean, we could just do that. I mean,
yeah.
Unless I don't know.
Is it hard to take?
No. You got it. I would just get it from out from under the. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, we're talking about what, Franklin?
Yeah, Franklin.
Yeah, he didn't bother me too much. I actually kind of felt bad for him in the beginning because the crazy guy that they picked up just he slashed his hand and took off. I was like, man. I was just thinking. I mean, at the time, the 1970s, AIDS didn't really exist and stuff like that. Or maybe it did. I don't know. But it's just like,
I think it did. They just didn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
What I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing too. I'm gonna say a lot of dumb shit throughout this whole thing. That's number one. But I just felt bad. Man, out of all the people, he just slashed this dude. I guess because it was closer and took off.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, so that I don't know. I guess I think that guy played that character well.
Mm-hmm. The crazy guy.
Yeah. I can't even remember what his name was supposed to. I mean, we know the Leatherface because obviously he's iconic.
Yeah.
But
this Leatherface, this grandpa, but I don't know the other guy who just cooks.
Yeah.
And the other guy was kind of a goof.
Yeah. Yeah. No. What was up with the grandpa? Because he looked like a zombie type thing, and I was like, are they going a zombie direction? With this or something? Because I know the rest of the series isn't. So I'm like, maybe they were leaving room for maybe we'll go a zombie direction with this or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
he looked.
He
weird
looked dead.
as hell. He
looked dead. The parts they I know we're just skipping all over the place, but the part they brought him from the top of the staircase, so I thought the guy was already dead, and it's just kind of crazy. So then when he starts like sucking the blood from her finger, I was like, oh man, this guy's still alive. You know, I thought that was kind of weird, but I mean,
bro, the hammer, the like,
oh yeah,
dropping
yeah, I kept dropping it. Like at that point, I started getting. If I was about to get killed and this man keeps dropping, I'm like, dude, just kill me, man. Just get somebody else to end this.
That's what I'm saying. Well, and then that particular part, I don't believe like, because he ended up actually hitting her one time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she started bleeding. The amount of blood that they had, I feel like she would have been like dazed and not been able to like
run out,
leave out of there. But I mean, it's a movie.
Yeah, it's one of those movies things. You got any other points from like the beginning on that you want to?
From the beginning, no, I mean it was pretty straightforward. I liked a lot of the props that they would use, like the set piece decorations, like the bones and everything. It all looked like believable.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I could believe like these are the left behinds of like bones, skins from other people that these people have killed. So like I really liked the way that they set it up. Made it feel real.
Yeah, that's one thing about this movie. It felt really grounded.
Yeah. Well, that part. Them actually picking up the hitchhiker. Well, like maybe that was more true back in the day. But like as of today's time, like there's no way I'm picking up the hitchhiker, bro.
Definitely
like
no,
man.
You don't have a mask on. You like
that's a new rule.
Yeah.
You can get in the car, but you gotta have a mask, bro. Like,
well, with that case, then you can pick up, Leatherface. He has a mask all the time. So.
Goddamn.
Yes, that's right. But yeah, so that already kind of like you thought, okay, that's kind of goofy for them to pick it up, or kind of weird for them to pick that guy up.
I mean, like, we also, I think, like, I'm trying to think of it like this was a different time.
Yeah.
Maybe this was more common back then. I'm just saying, like, in today's setting, like, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like no, like who's actually gonna pick that fool up? Like,
yeah.
nobody, man. But yeah, that, and then them keeping him in the car for as long as they did
with all the weird stuff.
Yeah, with all the weird stuff, like I would have kicked that fool out like way earlier.
Yeah,
like, bro, you need to get out of my car, bro.
Like, yeah, like after he cut himself with the
knife. Like after he cut himself, would have been like, all right, you're bleeding in my car, you got to get out, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. One thing I would say I like from the beginning, maybe I should have paid more attention because I didn't even know Franklin and what's his name? Sally, they were siblings, but I kind of like how they didn't do any like super basic ass exposition lines, because they've been, they seem like they've been friends for a while. They all know each other, so they're not like talking about like, oh, hello my brethren, it's like other dumb lines to let you know, like, oh, we've been best friends for 12 years. Why would I do that? I hate lines like those because people in real life don't talk like that.
Yeah.
So they just it was just going and flowed. And I was like, okay, from there you could establish they've known each other, they're friends and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think in the way that they did it, it really worked because they had that like the message at the beginning that was kind of gave you some background, like you're about to see some like crazy shit. Well, which like I guess for the time was crazy. Like I mean, it's
basic now. But,
yeah, it's kind of on the tame side.
Yeah.
But like I like the way they set it up. That like you kind of get the basics of why they're there through the radio reports.
Yeah.
Talking about like the bodies were being messed with at the graveyard. So it's like it gave you just enough information, but like while you're also seeing the intro of like just messed up, because I gotta set the tone, I guess. And so that part was confusing to me though, because the imagery that you're seeing there, is it like from their killings, or is it from like him going to go dig up the body, or like I don't know, because he was obsessed with taking pictures, so I was assuming that those were the shots that he was taking, or either that or the police took later, or whatever. So that part was like a little confusing to me, but I mean, I guess that's like a really small thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, they kind of set it up like, hey, yeah, my grandpa's buried there. We're gonna go check.
Yeah.
Make sure he wasn't disturbed or whatever. So, and it was very, like you were saying, it was in a way that it would have happened in natural conversation.
Yeah.
Not kind of like, oh, we came all the way here from Tennessee.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. You know, like,
because it's like already in the middle of the trip, so
right.
So it's not like they're just gonna like say all these lines to let viewers know. And yeah, I just really appreciate that. And then from there, where else did we go? So they pick up the guy, he cuts himself and jumps out. Oh yeah, then it ended up at what, the gas station, I believe.
Yeah, they ended up at the gas station. And then
I don't think much happens there besides maybe. Oh yeah, people just being weird.
Yeah, well, it seemed like they had a system, kind of like. Did you ever see The Hills Have Eyes?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. You mind if I like?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
I'm not gonna like spoil it,
Yeah,
but like, yeah, they had a system to where they would
like get people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there was someone who was like at a gas station, and he would kind of like determine like, okay, are these people we're just gonna let through, or are these people like we're gonna mess up, you know?
So is that the blood marking?
I think that's what it was supposed to be, but at the same time, like, the guy was telling them like, oh no, just wait here, or like you don't want to go around like messing around old houses. So I didn't know if it was more of like a he was intending to keep them there and then they were all going to get killed there, or like really what was going on there, like if it was the big plan, because I feel like the guy who hopped in the van at the beginning was definitely like, this is a group we're gonna mess up. But then I don't know, the gas station attendant or whatever, I couldn't really tell if like he was like, this is the group we're gonna do, or if this is just like, you know, it was all just kind of happenstance because they went to the other house.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have much thoughts around those parts. It just seemed like set up more. Then they got to the house and things, I won't even say like start to pick up. It just got going, you know, like it didn't like build up to anything. It just kind of just changed. So around that part, the one thing I would say I really, really like, and was it Kirk, the first one, the guy Kirk and his girl. I
think that was his name.
Yeah, Kirk. Yeah. When they went to that other house and they went in, and the first appearance of Leatherface, that actually made me say like, oh shit, out loud, because it was so like, there wasn't that stupid horror movie bullshit of the music and the misdirection. He just tripped and the dude was right there in frame, and it just looks so like realistic. It just looks like a big ass crazy dude. And because there's no build up, I didn't even see it coming. And I was really surprised. And he just had like, because of like the groundedness to it, it just seems like I basically, I'm not gonna liken this person because they're really close friends of ours, but I've just imagined somebody like Willie P size, just nuts, you know. That's what I kept thinking the whole time, because it was so big and so menacing, and it just seems so real that when he just pops up out of nowhere, it just, yeah, it got me.
Okay.
Like, it didn't make me jump or anything, but it made me say like, oh shit, out loud, like, oh man, like I can't imagine being in that situation.
Right. Yeah. Like they just got down to, there wasn't a chase or anything.
Yeah. No chase. They just yeah. He just walked in, tripped, and he's dead.
Yeah. I did like they didn't like dress up the killing to try to make it look like he was convulsing. He was like, you know, it was like what you would see if someone got hit. So I like that aspect. The color of the blood, I mean, I don't think they really, I think that was the style back then. They weren't going for like realistic colors on the blood. They're just kind of like, this is to represent like the blood.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna harp on that too harsh. Yeah. But yeah. In a sense, I was kind of missing that element of like the build up to the first kill, but at the same time I was okay with it. Some of the shots of like before they enter the house, I thought could have been tighter shots. I think they went like really wide with a lot of their shots.
Yeah,
like, especially when they're coming like around the house.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's just because of the time?
Yeah, I think that like, you know, not that like, I think everything that everyone is doing in a certain profession or whatever, they're always building on what has been done. So I don't think they were there yet where they were like, okay, these are the types of moments where we need to be tight, and then these are the kind of moments where we you know, open up a little bit. So for the time, I think the shots were okay, but like if they were to do it now, I would say, okay, you need to come in a little tighter for these shots.
Okay. Have you seen the remake or the reimagination they did, like in 2004?
I saw one.
With Jessica Biel.
Really?
Yeah,
Jessica Biel was in it? Okay.
It was like mid-2000s.
I saw one of them, and I don't remember. It was like Origins or something like that.
Is that the one that kind of came out recently or last...
Like a couple years ago? Yeah, I think so. And that's to its credit, just to like... So you don't think I'm like shitting on it the whole way. Like I completely respect that. Like this is the movie that kicked off an entire franchise that has been successful for like, you know, many years. So the negative aspects that I'm touching on, like I hope that doesn't like make me seem like I don't respect the franchise or anything like that. You know.
Would you say it also kicked off a genre, really, like a subgenre for the horror? Because was there any like really slashers before that? I mean,
there was Psycho.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, there we go.
So that might have been more of like a starting point.
Yeah,
for that kind of thing. Because I know when you talk to like the older generation, when you talk about like movies that stuck with them, like, you know, Psycho, people would say like, you know, they were afraid to take a shower because
Psycho, you see it now, it's so basic, but you know, back then it's still a really good movie.
Did you ever watch Bates Motel?
No, that's like the follow-up, right? Or the prequel? It's a prequel, right?
It's a prequel. They go into the movie and then they go after.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
like
after?
they
So did they ignore all the other Psycho sequels that came out, or?
Yeah, I mean, because like, it was weird because there was like remakes too with like Vince Vaughn. And
yeah,
stuff
the
like
one's like supposed to be a shot-for-shot remake with Vince Vaughn. Yeah.
But it kind of like does its own thing because it's like set in the modern day. They have like cell phones and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is like a lot of these scenarios, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like wouldn't happen. Like they just pull out their cell phone, and be like, "Hey, they're over here." You know what I mean? Like,
put on Twitter. But
checking out an abandoned house, DRV, you know, like, if I die, this is where I'm at.
Could you imagine like somebody still happens to get a selfie before they get murked by Leatherface? So you make sure they put on Instagram, making sure they're in heaven. Like, I hope this gets a shit ton of likes. But
no, he like crushes somebody like to kill them, and like post it up like man crush.
Hashtag man crush. Man crush Mondays. But so we're still talking about what, like the establishing shots and stuff you said for the house and
so like I said, the house itself, I think they did a really good job of like you know, making everything look the part. My issue is more with like, or do I have an issue? I don't know. The story, some parts of it just didn't seem like it would play out the way it would in real life. Like for all the things that they got right in the writing, I think they got like a few things just kind of like, especially Franklin. Why did they write him so whiny, bro?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know. They also did the whole thing with like with Franklin's death. I understand like he's limited, he's in a wheelchair or whatever, but he did the typical, like it's typical in the old movies where they like kind of like they see the killer and then they kind of like flail arms, as opposed to like move the fuck out of the way.
With Franklin, I think he was dead. He was dead on sight, man. There was nothing you could do about that. But yeah, I mean, it sucks because of the situation. But I know what you mean.
I would have at least like tried to roll back, man. I mean, like,
but wasn't Sally the one pushing?
Oh yeah, she
was. So it's kind of.
So it's kind of like, I guess if she froze up, then there's nothing he can do.
Yeah, he's just kind of he.
But why would they move?
Yeah, like, I can't blame him too much, man, because he caught them by surprise. He just popped up, like, "Gotcha, bitch," like this Chappelle, just like chopping him up. So I can't really blame him for that. So yeah, that's another thing. Like the driver, man. Was it Jerry, the driver?
Yeah, because I think that's the one that was like with Sally.
Yeah, the one with the fro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jerry's death was also another one that gave me an oh shit moment because, he sees the body in the fridge. Then he tries to walk out and Leatherface just pops in, and it's just that got me too. It's like because there's the suddenness to the death. It's not like all elaborated. There's no, like I said earlier, there's no like build up music or anything. It just happens, and I imagine that's how it would happen in a real life situation. And it's just that got me too. Then then with Franklin's death, that also got because all the deaths were so sudden. And what I really like about that scene, because it was kind of dark and hard to see, but it worked. At first, it was working against it. Then when Leatherface came into the scene, it started working for it because they had that shot of her running away, and it's like a shot of her like running, then you can see directly behind her is Leatherface, and that shit looks scary, man. Yeah, that looked really scary. Even though I feel like he could have caught up to her, but it's a movie.
Yeah, I mean it was a good shot. Like now if it was done, they would do different types of lighting and stuff like that. But yeah, like you were saying, it made for like a really good scary shot there.
Yeah. It was a really good shot. Like it just kind of puts you there, and it just looks so scary seeing that guy as big as he is and Sally as small as she is compared together, and just that shot, just like, man, if he catches it, it's game over, Then another thing too, I think by that point in the movie, I was like, did a lot of the ideas for Dead by Daylight come from this movie?
I think yeah. I think they got inspired a lot because I think I want to say Leatherface is someone you can get in the game.
Yeah, I think so. Because like in Dead by Daylight, hooks, you could put somebody on a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when Sal was running away injured, I was like, oh, this reminds me a lot of like Dead by Daylight,
Yeah. I think a lot of their inspiration for that game comes from like a lot of the classic horror movies.
Yeah.
Which is why they have like a lot of the classic people in there. They got some new people in. They got Pyramid Head.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and they got
Silent Hill, right?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
And then they also have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah, they got the monsters, right?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's pretty cool. What was I gonna say? Okay, so going back to the hooking.
Yeah.
Man, like, because I went back and originally the first time I saw it, I thought like they did no Foley work for this.
Oh, okay, like
for this movie at all.
For the sound, right?
Yeah.
Because you didn't hear shit when she got hooked.
Yeah, so I went back and watched it, and they did do Foley work, but I think they could have done a little more experimenting to say like, okay, this is gonna make like a harsher thud, or something like that. Because like when she got hooked, you didn't hear anything.
Yeah,
it was just kind of like
you just placed it on there.
Now, like they kind of did the like before the hook, raised her up, probably like said cut right there.
Yeah,
and then did the like, okay, now she's on the hook, and there was no like even like audio cue that she got hooked.
Would you put that against the movie, or just like it's just because it looks like a low? I don't know how much it made, but I mean how much it took. Let me see how much it cost to make it. Maybe just on the cheaper side. So it'll cost like 80,000 to 140,000. So maybe they couldn't afford.
I mean, like, but here.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Y'all can sample that, and that's a perfect punch.
Okay,
Batman, but
yeah,
right there, like.
Like pow. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Well, like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what production was like. I haven't done too much background work on this movie. I just kind of try to watch it for what it was.
Yeah, I see.
Maybe for the ones that we do in the future, I'll do like background work and learn all the trivia and stuff like that. For this one, I did not.
Yeah,
so I don't know what kind of stuff they ran into, but it just seems like they could have just grabbed a mic and like, like I don't know, like did something like put a sword through like a watermelon or something to get that like sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So because you kind of brought this up before we even recorded. That was the scene you were referring to at work?
No, more so like the deaths with like the hitting of the hammer.
Oh, okay, I see.
They kind of did some Foley work for the sound of when what's Kirk?
Yeah,
the first
Kirk,
one?
The first one, yeah, Kirk.
Yeah. You can kind of hear it. They kind of do a little something.
I think second time he hits him, you definitely hear something, right?
Yeah. But it's I don't know. It sounded hollow. It didn't sound like meaty. So yeah, I think by today's standards, it's a little light on the audio there. But again, I guess that's not really the film's fault. I guess it was more of the style.
Yeah.
At the time.
It's that soundy stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, those stuff didn't really bother me except the hooking one. The hooking one is just like because I was expecting a noise too, and just placed her, and she starts yelling. I'm like, oh, I guess she's been hooked, But yeah, other than that, I guess in my mind when I was watching it, another thing too, because technically more about like shooting and stuff than I do, so it didn't really bother me too much because in my back of my mind, I was like, oh well, it's the 70s, and it looks kind of cheaper on the cheaper side, just something.
What'd you say the budget was again?
Oh, 80,000.
80,000?
Yeah, 80,000.
That's not a whole lot to throw a movie together.
Yeah.
That seems like most of that would have to go towards like advertising and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they actually like used on like
actual film and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't really blame the movie for that stuff. But yeah, then going forward after she got chased and she met the guy at the gas station that tied her up. I kind of laughed at that scene because he just grabs a broom out. Yeah, hits her. It starts like beating with the broom. I was like,
that part. Yeah.
I started laughing.
I couldn't take that.
Yeah,
part seriously.
It just like shifted in tone so fast for me. I was like, but I didn't know whether I was meant to be laughing or not. But I was freaking dying.
I don't think so. Like I think the whole thing it was like supposed to be horror the whole way through. Or I don't know. I don't know what their intention was. I'm not gonna say what their intention was, but like I feel like that was supposed to be still a serious moment, but just with that broom, bro. Like,
I started laughing so hard. I'm not going to lie. Like towards the ending, the more when it's supposed to be more, scary and more graphic and stuff, or more weird, I start having more and more laugh out loud moments.
Oh, bro. The scene where they're at the dinner table.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like supposed to be like losing her mind or whatever. That whole segment, I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, it was kind of lost on me. I was like, how long is this gonna go on?
Oh, yeah. But they're zooming on the eyeballs and stuff like that.
I think the intention there was to try to give you a lens into how uncomfortable she should have felt, but and maybe that's what the audience who watched it at the time got. But looking at it now, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm waiting for this to like, this is kind of ridiculous at this point,
Actually, before that, I'm going to talk about two things. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is so the shot when they introduced they talk about Grandpa. So they had a shot had like you could see two rooms. I thought that shot was actually pretty advanced for the movie. I was like, I can't believe you guys were able to do this. This is pretty like not ahead of its time, but I was like, I wouldn't expect that from a movie like this. Because they had like a shot with her tied up in the chair and the guy who's like fucking beating the shit out of Leatherface. The dude with the broom. Yeah. He's just like beating their asses. But he has like there's a shot of having them and in the kitchen too, and he's yelling at them in the kitchen. And he's like, "Oh, go get Grandpa." And the camera and the guy ran to the other room, and you see the camera kind of follow him to the other room, then up the staircase. But it's all then the camera swivel back to the shot again of the girl in the on the chair, Sally in the chair, and the Leatherface and the other guy that was whooping their ass. I forgot their name, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like it just one swivel action type shot. So yeah. Then another thing I was going to talk about is like I admire it because I'm gonna go back later. I admire Sally's moxie because she didn't think twice about jumping out windows, man.
Oh, yeah.
She just runs through. I'm like, hey man, I don't blame you.
I don't know, and that's kind of on them.
Yeah,
as like like I guess they don't look like professional killers. They don't look like they think this out very well. But like if you see like okay, she's jumping out windows. I got put something under the window so when she lands, she gets fucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't know.
I just thought it was funny because it just shows the movies though like where do I go? Then jump out the window. That was her first option. She just sees a window and just dives through.
And it was pretty smart. It worked. It worked both times.
It worked both times. So that's another thing that made me laugh. Like you said, the dinner scene. So I was more so laughing at when they're trying to get Grandpa to kill her, and because the guy was like, Grandpa was one of the best. I'm like, maybe back then, man, but this motherfucker can't move, man. Right. So when he kept like dropping the hammer, I'm like, I started laughing so loud because it's just like.
Yeah,
because that guy's like, get him, Grandpa. Like, dude, this man can't even hold a hammer, man.
Bro, yeah, that was. And then like it finally just like I don't know if it was even like really a hit. It just kind of like fell on her head. You know what I mean? But then like I don't know, like because then I think what's his face, the guy with the thing on his face, like hits her like one time I think.
Ooh, not Leatherface, right?
No, not Leatherface. The guy that was in the van.
Oh, the van.
I think he gets like one hit on
hitchhiker.
her.
Yeah, I don't even know if he did because he grabs it and he wanted to get a hit on her.
Yeah,
that's when she escaped. So I think, like you said, I don't even know if the grandpa hit her once or it just fell on her head.
Yeah, it was hard to see.
Yeah,
just because of that angle and like. To their credit, that would be a very hard angle to get right.
Yeah,
because you've got all of the characters crowded around her. It's like, where would you even put the camera? So they did what they can.
Like she was fighting off, and they kept having the grandpa the hammer, and the other guy in the background keeps yelling like, "Get him, grandpa!"
Bro, yeah, no, I liked how like Leatherface is like the big scary killer, but then like the brothers like just smack him around the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought that was so funny and kind of scary too. And it's like it makes me scared of that other guy because if this big motherfucker, he's scary to me, but he's scared of you. Like, what are you capable of, man?
Right. Yeah.
Another thing too, I never read on it or to see. So the food they were eating, was it like are they cannibals? Were they eating people, or because they kept saying he's just a cook, but like
that was what the barbecue was.
Okay.
They would kill the people and then make them into the barbecue.
Okay. Oh man, that takes even a darker. Okay.
Yeah, like the barbecue that they were eating at the, because I think they even say something like it tastes kind of weird.
Oh yeah, man. Oh man, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that guy kept getting insulted by being called the cook, but which to me I thought was kind of cool because it's like they're showing even more backstory within them, but without really having like a flashback of why he got the title of the cook,
Right.
So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think it was more of like like he was kind of stepping to him like, you're not a real one.
Yeah,
you don't have the heart to do, we're out here doing.
Yeah, the actual work.
just cook it up after we're done. So to kind of say, because like because she was at that point, she's trying to like convince, because he seems the most sane out of everybody. And so I think she's just trying to appeal to him. just like, hey, make this stop, like let me go, and then like that's when the brother comes out, like he's not a real one, he can't make anything stop.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're in our hood now. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You came to the wrong house, motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. It's just like, I wonder how that guy felt down in his soul when he just kept calling him a cook. He's like, you're just a cook. You can see him just keep getting more and more mad as it went on. But yeah, it's just funny how, like you said, Leatherface just a big ass kid next to that guy.
Yeah. Did you?
Sorry, go.
Because I had a point to make about the ending, but if you have stuff to talk about before there.
So before we go, the ending is where some of my problems starts really coming in. But I don't know if I could just call it movie problems. But yeah, after she fucking Geronimo's through a window again and starts like running injured, that's not at the point I start thinking, you know what I mean? This must have Dead by Daylight. Then but that guy could have caught up to her immediately.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, are they doing this just because they're crazy? You know, they want to make make a game out of it, or are they legit trying to catch her? Because if they were legit trying to catch her, it would have been done. You know. Then that was my first problem. But you got any?
So yeah, there's a lot wrong with it, and that was one of them. I was like, bro, they would have caught her already. Again, with the whole like lack of Foley work when he was like kind of slicing at her, it looked like they were trying to make it seem like it connected, but there was no like audio cue like, oh, he's actually getting cuts in. So that was kind of an issue for me. The next thing is the 18-wheeler.
Yeah,
driver,
that's the second part I was gonna talk about.
Okay, so like one, the crazy dude again. Move out of the way. Yeah. Don't do the like freeze and then get run over. Like, move out of the way, man. Like you got time. Like you looked up and saw him, and then you just like you stayed there.
Also, like, you don't get surprised by the 18-wheeler. You heard that bitch coming from a mile away, man. You just don't like, oh shit, it's an 18-wheeler.
Like, didn't he even honk?
I think he did. I think even if he didn't, you could feel an 18-wheeler on the ground, man.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those movie tropes they do. They do the same shit with helicopters. Like sometimes you don't hear helicopters until it's on the screen. Like, come on, man, you can hear helicopters coming. But yeah, sorry, going.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So like, so one, the issue with like him just not moving out of the way, and then two, like, who even is this dude driving the 18-wheeler, bro? Because like he's in there for like all of 2 seconds. Okay, like, and then so he gets out to like try to talk to the lady or whatever. Leatherface shows up. Then they do a ring around the rosy. They were both in the cab. Yeah. They could have just drove off.
Yeah. Because he was just slashing the door. Leatherface just slashing the door.
I mean, like, what's he really gonna do? It's a metal door. So like, and then she gets out again and then like runs, and then like he gets out and runs too. I was like, y'all, they're both dumbasses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the second part thing was the 18-wheeler. Like, when is the switch from the hitchhiker to a doll once the guy ran over, or it wasn't even a doll, it was some like, I don't even know what it was.
I was like a doll.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. But I was like, well, it's a cheap movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, they did what they could.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that wasn't too bad, but it was definitely, like you said, like you could have moved out. You could hear that truck coming, man. Like, come on. And like you said earlier too, when she was running, she was getting slashed. I was confused too because, like you said, no sound, and it wasn't until they showed a clear shot of him trying to slice her back. I was, oh, okay, that's what he's doing. I mean, it was like still caught up. I mean, like catch her and take her back. But yeah, then that scene made me laugh too because the guy gets out the truck to go help her. Then he sees Leatherface, and he's like, fuck this, man. Then he immediately goes back and just runs back into the truck. And I thought he was about to just take off. But no, but he grabs her. But like you said, it's like, all right, you're boarding the truck. This guy can slice into the truck. Just drive, man.
Right? Like,
yeah. Then when they do a ring around the Rosie and she gets on the other trailer, or the other like pickup, and the guy keeps going. I was like, I kind of want to see a sequel with that guy. Like, I wonder where he ran to, you know?
Right, the 18 wheeler.
Yeah, the 18 that truck.
18-wheeler guy origins.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. Well, then they end up like, you know, they're like, you know what, fuck the girl. Let's go catch this guy. You know, like, you know.
That's probably what ended up happening.
Yeah.
No, like, it didn't even, okay. And then, like, one of my final problem with the movie is, like, the ending.
Yeah.
Is so abrupt.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like they don't even like polish it. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna dance in the during the sunrise with my chainsaw, and then I'm gonna laugh maniacally as I get away. And then cut.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's how they pitched it. Like, all right, you do your little dance in the sunlight, and then we're gonna get one more shot of you like kind of laughing, and then that's it. And then someone was like, that's it?
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, that's it.
I mean, they ran out of money, man. They couldn't do the ending. They couldn't, like, that's all we got, man. Yeah. It's funny too because actually, I saw the ending a long time ago, but it didn't stick to my mind because I didn't know the movie people were talking about. Because Bravo used to have like the Bravo channel used to have like a list of like scariest movies ever and scariest scenes, and that was one of the movies that said, you know, because it's the older generation. Yeah, you know, people thought Jaws was scary, but yeah. So that was one of the movies they talked about, like, oh yeah, it was so crazy when, it was so scary and crazy when the girl escaped and everything. And I saw, I was like, yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of an abrupt ending to me, man. But I don't know. I can't. I don't know if I can knock it or anything. It just ended.
Yeah. I mean, like, it wasn't a terrible ending, but it just like there could have been more padding, kind of like a slowdown. It was kind of like when you're in a car and you just like slam on the brakes and then you just like stop. You know?
Yeah,
like,
I see. Yeah, it just ends. Maybe that's why they have sequels. I don't know. But
did they have like a direct sequel where it picked up where she's like in the truck?
I don't know. I don't know what the direct sequel. That almost sounds like Hostel. You know, like how Hostel. That's another movie for another time. But I don't know where the direct sequel, the sequels, like how they take place within the plot. I just know Dennis Hopper was in one of them, but that's all I really know. Something I failed to talk about earlier. It's kind of like a continuity error. At least one of the ones I noticed. I know if you know other people might notice more. But when Leatherface grabbed that girl in red shorts inside the house, so there's a shot that he grabs her inside the house, and they're already in the house. Then they cut to another angle, and they're outside the house, about to get in the house again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, it's just like, I mean, it doesn't knock the whole movie down, but it's like, oh, there's a continuity error. But
I missed it. I didn't see that one.
Oh, yeah. It was just like...
I was focused on like more of like the flailing she was doing.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know. It looked like some type of like modern dance.
Oh yeah.
Type flail thing. I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe there's more that other people notice, but that's just the one that I happened to notice while watching it. But yeah. So with that said, overall, what was your? You said you give it a rating?
Yeah, overall. I was initially thinking 5
out of 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
but just because it's an iconic movie that kind of, you know, kicked off a franchise that has been able to last generations, and just for the respect for it to be able to do that, 6 out of 10 chainsaws.
Okay, 6 out of 10 chainsaws. That's a good one. See, I still don't know how I'm gonna. I can't really rate movies, because if I do that, then a movie that should obviously be like a 0 out of 10 might be like a 10 out of 10 for me, because I just enjoy it so much.
I mean, it's what you think.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
Like it's your personal opinion.
Yeah. Right now, I'll just go with my feelings about it. So I really like the film. I really like the film because I'm not a big fan of horror movies, because they all follow the same tropes and formulas and stuff like that. Maybe now, but because maybe this is one of the earlier ones, it was kind of setting up everything. And I just really like the suddenness to the death and the groundedness of it. All the deaths were just so grounded. I was like, Jesus, man. And I really like that, because I'm so tired of somebody sneaking in and you hear the the song or the music, the soundtrack rising and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then they look somewhere and he's not there, but it's, it's to the right. It's from, they didn't do any of that. Like when the motherfucker pops up, he just pops up, and he doesn't really waste his time doing his business. Besides, when they're chasing the girl, he just does it, and I really like that. But I can't really think of a rate. If I had to give it a rating, I'll definitely give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Yeah, but even though it's like gritty looking and stuff, which I feel like added to it, it just flowed so well and it was enjoyable. It's another thing too is like it's rewatchable for me. Like I could rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe if I wanted to tell my brother about it or somebody else, like I could rewatch it with them.
Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah,
I probably would laugh.
Oh yeah, I would laugh now for sure.
Stuff,
yeah.
Like, yeah,
especially the part when she's like, "Fuck it," just Geronimo just diving head first through the windows. The fact that she did it twice, I was like, "I'm proud of you."
Props to the stunt double.
Oh yeah,
just going through two windows, man.
Yeah, yeah. She because that's like I don't see that in other movies, horror movies. They might run their little trip, and they're just that when you're in danger. Flight or fight mode, you're not over here like, oh man, you just like, if this is the path to freedom, I'm taking it. So I really enjoy it.
Heck yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. So what will be the next movie, or we'll just discuss that off screen?
Yeah, we'll discuss that
okay.
at another time.
Okay.
But yeah,
how do you feel about the first episode down? I feel like this could be a recurring thing.
Yeah, this could be a recurring thing.
Yeah,
I don't know where we're gonna put it yet. Is
okay.
YouTube with like or like SoundCloud or I don't know.
Well, YouTube, SoundCloud, or we could discuss different avenues.
Wherever we put it, smash that like button.
Oh yeah, there you go. Like and subscribe. That's what they always do, right?
We'll eventually have a video our camera just gave out.
And we'll have a formula too. I mean, not like a formula to the point it's boring, but like like you make it more easy to navigate through the whole each episode and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like we said earlier, we'll have more people. Depending on the movies we see,
we can have guest stars.
Yeah. That's why we, name it Mofos with a long podcast because we're gonna have different Mofos. But yeah, this is really cool. Like I said, I'm gonna give forewarning. I'm not the smartest person around, or I don't really.
Oh, bro, I'm dumb as hell.
And I don't speak too well, So I might. My English is gonna be kind of weird, or I might say some weird things, but just bear as long as just don't cancel me. Or you just ask me for more understanding, I'll be able to explain.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that ends episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
We'll catch y'all at another time.
All right. See you guys later.